Hello, hello, and welcome to another Career Mindset Podcast episode. In today's episode, get ready to be inspired as I have a remarkable individual coming from different professional backgrounds of entrepreneurship, mentorship, and technology. My guest is the founder of Bimensa, a game and application that helps teams and leaders to become more efficient. She is also a startup mentor, a curator for TEDx events, and a coach for speakers. Holding the title of Google Women Tech Makers Ambassador and serving as a Mandela Washington Fellowship application reader, my guest has dedicated her career to fostering innovation, empowering individuals, and shaping the future of technology. So I am beyond happy and excited that she's here today with me, and I'm sure this episode will be a masterclass in career mindset, leadership, and the transformative power of combining passion with purpose. Stay tuned for an engaging conversation with Carol Constant, who will leave you motivated and ready to embrace your own journey with a renewed energy. Welcome to the show, Carol. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fenia. And I feel a bit humble by what you said. I'm like, really? Am I that person?
This is everything that you have on your LinkedIn
Yes,
profile. So of course
it's
you
all
are.
true. It's all true. I'm good.
How are
I'm
you
good. Thank
doing?
you.
How are you today?
I'm okay. It's raining a lot and it's very cold, and that influences me a little bit. But I'm good. I'm super happy to be here today. Thank you.
I'm super happy too. And you want to tell us a bit about where are you based at this moment?
Yes, I'm very close to Prague in the Czech Republic, right in the center of Europe, and I'm at home after
Oh,
yeah, work from home. That's
fantastic.
good.
Well, thank you for that. And also, you mentioned before about a new change in
Yes.
Insta. Would you like to explain more? Because I don't want to make any mistakes and I
No.
want people to understand what's going on here.
Yes. This week we are just changing the name of the company. So
Mhm.
because we got the trademark, so it's approved and it's yeah. So we're changing from Imensa to Home Lab, which we think that is it gives a much better of the idea of what we're doing, because we are a head HR tech company, and this kind of Home Lab who is going to be, so that gives better, I think.
I love it. So I can say welcome home, Lamb, and congratulations. And I'm so curious to, to find out all these answers for the questions that I have prepared for you, because I really admire your background. I have told you that I admire you a lot as a person and as a professional. So I really want for our audience to find out more about you, and I'm sure that you will help a lot of people out there. So, are you ready? Okay, let's start. Can you take us on a journey through your career so far, from the inception of your venture into HR tech to your roles as a startup mentor, TEDx curator, and Google Women Tech Makers ambassadors? What pivotal moments and challenges have shaped your path to where you are today?
Okay. So my background is in corporate. So I work for some of the big companies. And then, like many of us, I was like, no, this is not for me. And then I founded my own startup, my company. And a pivotal moment was I had to learn how to pitch my business. That's something that I hadn't never done before. And there are so many different aspects that you need to know. So I joined a group that was exactly what they were doing. And in this group, there were some TED speakers, and I absolutely love TED. I love it. And I have my favorite talks, and I saw them like, oh wow, they are TED speakers. Yes. And then one day I just mentioned, oh, I would love to do a TED talk. And I told them about what. And they said, yeah, why don't you try it? And I was like, really? So I applied to one place, but only because they told me, yeah, come on, do it. So I applied to one place just to see what it was, the process. I really didn't know. And to my surprise, I was chosen. Like, I was like, really, wow. So that was a really, really big moment. I had my TED talk. I had to hurry because they wanted me to do it very quickly, and I did. And I was really, really, happy that at least I did it. And then I was telling a friend, well, a friend, a mentee, but then she became a friend. And I was telling her because she is an event organizer. Yes. And so she's a public speaker. And I was telling her, why don't you do it? Yes. And then we were in the session, and right then and there, she started looking what events were near her so she could go there as a speaker. And we couldn't find any. And then I told her, why don't you organize one? Why don't you organize a TEDx event? And she was like, what do you mean? I said, yeah, well, you organize events. So instead of calling the event blah, 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 you just call it TEDx. You can do it. And she was like, oh, I don't know. And finally she said, okay, if you help me, if you do it with me, I'll do it. And I was like, yep. And that's how the very first TED women in Namibia, after 40 years of TEDx, started. We pioneered the very first TED women in Namibia. So I love that, that you open a door and you don't know what's coming after.
But this is exactly what I wanted to say here in terms of that you don't be afraid to open new doors. You don't be afraid to say yes to new opportunities, even if you don't know the results of those opportunities. But you're ready. You're so ready to try out something new every time and go outside of your comfort zone. And that's a great skill or mindset, because a lot of people, I think, they don't succeed, or they don't achieve their goals because this is the exact moment where they just they get stuck, and they afraid, there's so much afraid of going the next step forward because of, I don't know, the failure or anything that maybe happened. And but you're the exact opposite. How did you manage to have this mindset?
How did I manage? I was born with it. I
Okay.
imagine. But
It's
look,
2 a.m.
yes. Look, I believe, like, for example, in my case, I take the initiative to do things. And for example, my mentee is not like this, but she had a really, really good idea, and is like, okay, I don't see myself capable of doing it on my own, but I found somebody I can partner with, and then we can do it together. And she is really amazing, and many people are like that. They are like, okay, maybe not by myself, but they find support, they find networks, and they do it. Yes. So yeah, that's really, really important.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And considering your diverse roles and experiences, how do you personally approach the concept of hacking your brain to balance the demands of entrepreneurship, mentoring, and advocacy? And are there any specific mindset hacks or cognitive strategies that have been instrumental in your success?
Okay, so the way I understand hack your brain
Yeah.
is to make your brain work for you, to help you achieve your goals, and
Yes.
instead of against, because sometimes that's what happens, unfortunately. Yes. So for that, I believe that is really, really important, self-knowledge, to know yourself very well. And we all think that we know ourselves, yes?
Mhm.
But then you look at the statistics and how many people take tests, personality tests, and all of that to see what they are. So it is not that common, yes?
Mhm.
For example, this very afternoon, I had a session with someone who took, because what we do leadership profiles, you notice, yes, our startup. So someone took the test, and I was telling her um, how it was, compared to others. And it's really revealing, because many times, for your own personal bias, because you don't know, you really don't know how you compare to somebody else, yeah, and you think that everybody is more or less, but it's not, yeah. So that's extremely important to
Mhm.
know, um to have that knowledge, that what is that is aligned to you, and choose that path in your career. Yes. And so to know your top skills, and those who are not so, great. And then what you can do yourself, for example, and what you can delegate if you have your own company, for example. Yes. But yes, I believe that self-awareness is key. And so my very two hacks that you were asking for hacks.
Yes, please.
So will be prioritize and delegate. That is extremely important because you cannot do everything, and so we are always best at doing something specific. We need to identify that and then delegate the rest, and then also build a support system, because in business, and also if you are a career woman, this is a roller coaster and we all know it. Yes. So you are going to need people who are with you, who support you, who is going to cheer you up, who's going to remind you of how amazing you are, or not. Like sometimes you need to tell someone to tell you, think it twice. Yes.
Yeah, we need that too as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's really important to know yourself very well, and to have someone more than one, and few networks. For example, as you mentioned before, I'm part of Google Women in Tech Ambassadors, because and many others, because I really believe in this community, and people that supporting each other. Yes, and that's extremely important.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, yeah, self-awareness, prioritizing, delegating, and having people around us, who can uh, cheer us up and who are here to help us and show us somehow the way, or just, make us think twice sometimes.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic. Thank
Thank you.
you. As a TEDx curator and speakers coach, you have likely witnessed numerous transformative talks, right? So, how do you believe effective communication and storytelling contribute to shaping a successful career mindset? And are there specific techniques you recommend for individuals looking to enhance their communication skills?
Well, clear communication and the ability to articulate your ideas shape your professional image. They are part of your personal brand. Yes. And people are not so aware of how important that is. One thing is what you are, and another thing is how you communicate what you are. Yes. And for example, you mentioned before in the beginning that I select applications for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, and this is a grant that young leaders are given to go and study in the U.S. And so I see these applications, I see the documentation, CV, and so on that they send. Plus, also I see the actual application, what they answer the questions, how they answer the questions.
Mhm.
So sometimes I see an amazing CV,
Okay.
but it doesn't go with the way they are answering. They cannot sell themselves. They
Oh my.
don't see the value that they can bring. What we were saying just before, that self-awareness, to know
Yeah.
how amazing it is what you achieve. They cannot do it. And I also see the opposite. I see people who don't have much there, but hey, the way they sell themselves, yeah, the storytelling is amazing. So it makes such a big difference, because for example, in my case, for these applications, the ones that are amazing, I have to make a comment and say, look, this person, because I cannot tick the boxes, because they are not saying, they are not really telling me about the accomplishments, you see. So it's so important that you know your strong points and you know how to communicate about them.
Okay. And do you have some techniques to share on how we can enhance our communication skills?
Yes. So, for example, if we are talking about speaking, as a speaking
Mhm.
communication, a very good idea is you can ask a few people to listen to you. Yes. You can start with friends, and they can tell you what are your good points, because many times, again, you miss your good points, you don't realize, and also what other things you need to improve. Yeah. But this idea of this self-knowledge, okay, so I'm very good at, for example, changing the tone of my voice, not to make it monotonous, not to talk all the time like this, because then people get bored and they, yes. So
Yeah, for sure.
exactly, little things like that, and that way you can work on it, because to know where you want to go, first you need to know where you are, and that
Okay.
way you can bridge that gap. Mm.
Task. And in this case that you mentioned before about the applications and the CVs, and that you can see great CVs, but the application is not the same. What's a tip or a suggestion that you can make to those people to have like a consistency of the CV and their application as well?
Yes, it is going to sound very obvious, but what I also work in not just with them and talent, that's what they chose me, but in other many other applications. And what I see throughout the years is, and this is going as I said, it's going to sound silly, but people don't answer the question. That's the main problem. So what I always told when I was helping people prepare for applications is get the keywords of whatever they're asking you, underline them, put them, make them big, because then you start answering the question and you forget about it. You get lost and you answer
Okay.
something that has to do with it, but it's not what they're asking you. So just make sure that you hit the target on what they're asking.
Very interesting and very
Mhm.
important. And thank you, because I mean, it's very important to remind all these little things, the details that are so important to make a difference. Fantastic.
Yes.
So next question.
Mhm.
In the dynamic landscape of HR tech and startup mentoring, adaptation and innovation are key. How do you stay ahead of industry trends, and what advice do you have for our listeners on embracing change, staying agile, and continually evolving in their careers?
Okay, so because I'm good, at applications,
Yes.
I apply for programs. And for
Okay.
example, last week, together with my team, we started the Google AI for Startups program,
Mhm.
which is completely free. It is free. You just need to apply and do a good
Okay.
application, and then you can join. And it is a 2 months program. And we are already learning and improving our models with AI just with this program. Yeah. And I
Mhm.
could say this is my MO. This is my modus operandi. I join networks. I that way I can access resources. And then one thing that I also do is study my rivals.
Okay.
Your competence, you need to study what they're doing. And so I join like at least three times a month. I join some of the webinars that they do, and I put my name. It's not like I'm pretending, no, it's my name is there.
Yes.
um, and I really get to know what is happening in HR tech, and it's so important to have all this knowledge, because as you said, things are evolving so quickly. But yes, this networking and this learning, it really helps me, makes a big difference.
Fantastic. So learning new things and working and also studying your competitors are the key important things to stay ahead. That's very interesting. And could you please repeat again this program for the audience, for our listeners, if they are interested in joining?
Yes, because it just started, but they do it like a few times a year. Is AI for Startups by Google. If
Okay,
you Google it, you will see.
yeah, I'm sure they will find it. And also, I want to share that if anyone out there is looking for a new program, don't hesitate to ask Carol. She's an expert in finding programs and suggesting programs, recommending programs. So yeah, she
Yes.
knows every program running, currently running in the world.
Thank you. I try, but
Yeah.
good is, you know why? Because I really see the value, there's so much value in these programs. And it's true that many people that I know that at first were like, oh no, I'm not sure about programs. And then they join the program because I insist, go and try it. And they are so happy with it. So yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, here like a direction or yeah, like a book of programs.
Thank you.
That's
I try
awesome.
my best.
I'm sure you are. So, being a Google Women Tech Makers Ambassador suggests a commitment to diversity and inclusion in the tech industry. How can individuals proactively hack their mindset to foster a more inclusive work environment? And what role do you believe diversity plays in driving innovation and success within the tech sector?
Well, tech and innovation go hand in hand,
Yes.
and then diversity is one of the triggers for innovation and creativity. So what I will say, all you have to do is to look at data. When you look that more diverse teams are the most successful, the most innovative, and it makes sense if you think of it. Different brains think differently, and this is something that I use in my startup when we do game sessions and so on. I put two people together
Mhm.
working and
Yeah,
just solving something small, and they realize, wow, I approach this little thing completely different to this other person. Some people are more like detail oriented, some people are more like big picture,
mhm,
and this is what brings this wealth to teams, and
yeah.
this is a trigger for innovation and
Mhm.
creativity. Yeah.
Fantastic. And do you have like, do you think that we can do even more to make
Oh,
diversity more welcome,
we,
especially in the
we
industry?
have just started. We
Okay.
have just started with diversity. Yeah. Um, so for example, again, we want to identify not just different cultures and different backgrounds. We also want to make different brain functioning, let's say, yeah, because that way you and create teams with this, because this way you can really have a whole a range of ways to look at something and ideas, and yeah, it makes such a big difference. You know this very well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm into diversity a lot, and I believe that it's the right time now, and we have to talk more about diversity, and we have to act in order to create diverse environments. I believe that we are already living in a diverse world, but for some reason we don't want to see it and don't want to accept it. I don't understand why, because everyone is different.
Hmm.
Diversity is here and now, but we choose to not see it. But we need to, open up our eyes and accept the diversity and welcome it and use it for the best of
Yes.
everything. So yeah, thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
that. And last question.
Mhm.
As someone with a wealth of experience and insights, of course, what advice would you give to your audience on cultivating a resilient and growth-oriented career mindset? And other specific habits, tools, or principles that you believe can make a significant impact on personal and professional development?
Mhm. So what I think is that we always need to bear in mind that this is a marathon, this is long term, and many times you want things immediately,
Oh
and
yes,
that's
this is me. This is me.
yes,
I want results yesterday, if possible. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, so the idea, so what I do, because I'm also a bit impatient, but I have the good thing that I'm able to look strategically long term, because
Hmm.
that's extremely important to be able to grow in the right direction. So it's something similar to what I was mentioning before. So first, clearly define where you are and where you want to be, and how can you bridge that gap. Yes. So, for example, that's the reason why I joined the Google Tech Women Ambassador. So I'm not a developer, but there is a role I can play there, and that's what I do. So to have more the profile that I want to have, so you can see what possibilities are there. For example, in LinkedIn is one of the tools that are very much used in you have a business, and when you can be the top voice in something.
Yeah.
So for example, this week also I got the leadership top voice in leadership. Yes.
Congrats. Fantastic news.
Thank you. So how do you get this? Well, you think, okay, so what is it? How do I want to be perceived? What can I do in not so long, because it didn't take me that long, uh,
Okay.
to get it? Yes. So how is it done? Okay, you find out and then you do it, and then step by step you get to where you want to be. And many times it's just something small. It's not really something that, oh, I have to do a degree or a master's, yes, that it takes much longer, but little steps, yeah.
Yeah.
So my mindset is like goal setting, where you want to go, what is it, and kind of give different options on how you can get there. Of course, continuous learning, also because I love learning, so that's something that
Yeah.
I like doing, so it's not an effort for me.
Mhm.
Then time management with the idea of prioritizing and to do not just the urgent but the important. And nowadays, when you will fill up your day, you don't have time for anything. This is really important as well. And to put in your schedule, one of the things I do is I put 1 hour a day for me
Also,
in the
yeah.
middle of the day.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because when you are an entrepreneur, you need to be creative. How can you be creative if you are stressed? It's just not possible.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. It's very important to take care of ourselves and
Mm.
give us time just to do nothing. It's totally fine because we have, this mentality that we need to work long hours in order to be successful, and we need to work hard. And doing that, we forget about ourselves and about our physical needs and mental needs we may have every day. And so, yeah, I totally agree. It's the most important thing for me to just put aside an hour to just,
Yes.
take care of yourself. Go on, please.
No, I was just going to say, I still work long hours. Sometimes at midnight there. But what I don't want to do is to work like 8 hours, and because
Non-stop.
sometimes I do, and realize, oh, I forgot to stop to eat.
Oh my God.
That's just terrible, but that happened to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I have an alarm.
Oh, yeah.
I have an alarm, and I'm not allowed to cheat. I really need to.
Okay, that's good. You need consistency on that. Yeah, I mean, everyone has been there before. I've been there before, working so hard without stopping at all, without, I'm working from home, and I forgot to go out to take some fresh air and go for a walk, and because I had too many things to do, and I was in the rush to, achieving goals and achieving success, until I had my breakdown and my burnout as well, and the stress, etc. So for me now, this is the most important thing that we need to do starting the day. Prioritize your, self, this time for yourself, and then you can do the list of your tasks and everything else.
Exactly. We just have first because we
Yeah.
tend to forget that. Yes.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much. I mean, I have so many more questions to ask. Lovely conversations with you, but it's important to keep the episode on time. And I don't know, do you want to share anything else? Any last thing?
Um, I don't know. I like I could. Can I show one of the games that I do so people know
Yes,
not what or a little bit more what I do? Yes,
yeah,
just
of
one.
course, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sure, go on. Do you want to share the screen or anything?
No, 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 no,
No?
because I prepared it in a notebook. It reminded me because it just fell.
Okay, cool. Yes, sure.
Okay. Just for them to see. So
Mhm.
okay. So the game in this case, it is I have. Did you know this one? I have there is like a puzzle, and the idea is you're going to see the puzzle. Your audience is going to see the puzzle, and the point is not whether you are right or wrong answering the puzzle. You need to. The point is, tell me a bet. Tell me how much are you bet that your answer is correct. If you don't know if your answer is correct, you can bet zero, so you don't lose anything.
Yeah.
Yes? So from 0 to 100, how sure are you of your bet? And I guess your audience will play as well. But this is what we use. So let me show you.
Okay. Oh, I need to check this, but yeah,
So
I'm from 0 to 100.
yes,
Yeah, I'm 100, sure.
I knew you were going to do 100 because
I'm
I know
all
your
in every
profile.
time I go all in. I don't mind. It's like, I take risks. So
Yes. So
yeah,
I'm just going to show you a little bit more to the audience. So obviously I know which answer you get is this one, yeah? So this
yeah,
is
it's
the
the
good
second
answer.
one. Yes.
You will be surprised, really surprised, how many people do, I mean, how very few people answer 100.
Wow.
Very, very few. And this is fine. Yes, this is fine because we need profiles for everything. And when you are building teams, you
Yeah.
need to have what we were saying before, diversity. Yes. But yes, this is what we use. This is the games that we use to build profiles. So I just thought that it would be a good
It's
touch.
very interesting what you do. And I don't know, can people find the application, can
Yes.
download it and play these games as well?
Yes, 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 of course,
Okay.
yes. Please, if you could share the socials and so on,
Yes.
they can find me on LinkedIn. Application
Awesome.
uh, is called Home Lab. Yes,
Okay, the new name
because
now,
everything
Home
will be
Lab.
changed. And yes, I hope they enjoyed.
Awesome. Yes. So yeah, guys, go on, play this game and send some feedback as well. Share the
Yes, please.
comments. And thank you so much, Carol, for being here today, for sharing all this important information and tips and techniques and suggestions. For all of you out there, I hope that you enjoyed our talk today. Don't forget to rate this episode with your 5 stars and see you in the next one.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.